Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine here. I am here with another message. So I want to basically just tell you guys this really quick before I get into the prophetic message. Just keep in mind that today I'm going to give you guys the full version of the message because I think it's important. I feel like God has blessed me, so let me be a blessing to someone else who probably needs to hear this. So this message will not be on Patreon because I'm giving the full version of the message here today anyway. So I just also wanted to tell you guys too, it is very important at this time for people to use their intuition. Very important. And the reason why I say that is because I find it more and more that I have to find myself. It's very important that you guys remember to let me just say this. If you're someone who's constantly stay busy, and you're always going, and you don't take time for yourself, and you don't take time to just sit still and understand what's going on, you may be that kind of person that may have a hard time doing these doing all these different phases that we are experiencing in this new reality that we're dealing with. I believe, I'm not going to look at it and I'm not going to chalk it all up to man, because I truly believe that what sometimes, as the Bible says, what man uses for good, God uses for evil. So I truly believe that something good is coming out this whole situation. I'll basically say this, because with the whole 19 thing, I don't even say it all out because I don't even give it energy like that. But with this whole 19 that's taking place, I will definitely say this. I know it's been a shutdown. I know it's something that people having to adapt to. And I know it's some things that they're not normally familiar with. But the way I look at it is, I look at it from a totally different situation. Like me, I'm so grateful for this whole shutdown. And the reason why I'm grateful for it, because I feel like I have always been about family, and always, whether I was working in the home or working outside the home, it did not matter. I always wanted to make it a point to make sure I just stayed, have my kids within my reach or whatever case may be. And I never really worked too far from home, even if I did work from the home. So with all that being said, I truly believe in the way I look at this. Let me help some people to look at it from a different perspective. I know it's a shutdown. I know that they're putting restrictions on how you can move, when you can move, and so on and so on. But not only that, but I look at it like this. I think it's a beautiful thing. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like for all of those people who have been out here, I'm sorry, y'all, it's my dog in the background. She put her 2 cents in it. I feel like there has been so many people that has been hustling and bustling. I mean, bustling. And I mean, when I say bustle, I mean like busting their asses to just constantly keep going. And it's no judgment. That's their life. My life is my life. Their life is their life. But I just look at the situation as being a beautiful thing. And again, the reason why I say that is because, with this whole shutdown, I think it forces people to spend more time with their families, spend more time with their kids. And with that being said, I didn't even know where I was going with this message. Now I understand where I'm going with this message in the beginning, because I normally don't say this, but now I see why, because the message is kind of pertaining to kids in this video. But with that being said, I feel like it forces parents to spend more time with their kids, more quality time. And I know others who aren't really used to spending time with their kids, sometimes they're having a hard time to adapt. I get that. And my heart goes out to those kids. And I hope and pray that, those parents will have a different outlook and a different perspective on life, and just, learn to look at it from a situation of, you have your kids within your reach. I don't know. I know everybody's situation is different. And again, I'm not judging anybody who feels like, oh my God. But I think you just have to have a different mindset and look at things differently in order to really appreciate what's taking place right about now. But with all that being said, let me get right into the prophetic message. But I also wanted to state to you guys as well too that it's so important during this time to listen to your intuition. So important. I realize that because for these yesterday I've actually found myself dealing with the situation that I had to use my intuition. I'm not saying that I don't have to use it on a daily basis, but it was so important. And when I did, it's like everything worked out in my favor. So if you someone who are constantly going, and you don't take time for yourself, you don't take time to sit still, you don't take time to just have a little quiet time, it may be a little hard for you to get in tune with your gut or your feeling, or, maybe you can juggle the both. I don't know. It's not for me to judge, but, all I just say is that, anytime I'm sure that I post a video, I'm sure, just keep in mind that if you feel like you're being led to a specific message, it's because there's a message that's there for you. Maybe your higher self, divine spirit of light, your angels, your higher self, your spirit guides, somebody wants you to hear it, that you possibly need to hear. And I say that to say that, and because this is how I was able to get a lot of messages in the beginning too. When I was asking God, I was like, oh my God, like, just to give you a little brief, I was like, God, what is going on? Not with this whole 19 thing, but just something personal in my life that just happened, like, almost 3 years ago. And I just needed answers, and God was giving me those answers, but I had to sit still and I had to just really listen and allow, not to control, but I really had to allow the spirit to guide me to where it is that I needed to go in order to get those answers. And give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, so with that being said, I think it's very important to be in tune with your intuition as well as your gut feeling, because God is always there to lead us and guide us, and our intuition is there to help protect us and keep us safe in certain situations. Yeah, so just keep in mind that anytime that if you ever feel like a video is resonating with you and you feel like, again, that it's leading you to go and browse all of the other topics that I have that's, over on Patreon, and even if they don't, that's fine too. But if you feel like the message resonates and you feel like you're being guided to, obviously there's a message that's there for you that could be happening at this present moment, could be within a couple of weeks, or could be possibly a message that you need to hear for the near future. So just because something's not necessarily resonating right now, it could just be something, if you are clicking on something that's not particularly resonating right now, it could possibly apply to you for the near future. So with all that being said, let's get into the message. As we were saying before, this message is about kids, and it goes back to what I said in the intro. So anyway, so in the dream, I had a dream last night, and in the dream, it came to me as if there was a lady that came to me, and I had actually told her that she needed to leave, and it was as if maybe she stayed with me. I kind of got like maybe she stayed with me, but I kind of got like she didn't stay with me. So at the same time, I told her that she needed to leave. And on the other hand, after, let me see. So after she had left, I remember that after she had left, there was a situation of she was actually in a relationship with someone else, and the person she was in a relationship with, so apparently this could be happening two ways. Apparently, this could be a situation of someone is still in the relationship with this same lady that I had asked. Excuse me, guys. Someone is in a relationship with the same person that I had asked them to leave, or they had actually left. I saw it like two ways. Or they had left this individual that I had asked to leave. And so the kids were kind of left on, what I saw it two ways. So okay, so let's go with the first situation first. So let's just say the person that I had asked to leave, okay, in other words, I'd asked her to leave. I didn't want to have any dealings with her. And then the other person that I knew, I was obviously a little closer to this individual, which was a male. So they basically had kids together. So with them having kids together, it was as if he had came to me and asked me to watch the kids. So I had gotten the sense of what had came to me And my thought process in the dream was like, I don't mind watching the kids, but no, this time I'm going to say no. I'm not going to watch the kids because I feel like, and this is what I told the guy in the dream. I told him no, that the other individual, which was his girlfriend, is a mom. And it is her job as a mom to take care of her kids and not to keep pushing her kids off onto somebody else to constantly always asking them to watch them. So I basically told him, no, you're going to have to take your kids with you. Okay, that's one situation, if you can relate to me with that. And then in the other situation, it was as if the two of them had split up. The two of them had split up, and it was a situation of they had split up. So apparently, I take it that the dad maybe had the kids. I take it that the dad had the kids as if it was the weekend with the kids. I saw it two ways, okay? This is two ways, not with the first scenario, but the two ways I saw was either he had like custody of the kids, or either he had the kids for the weekend, okay? Bear with me. So he had the kids for the weekend, or he either had custody of the kids, but nevertheless, those are two different situations. So nevertheless, take it how it applies for whatever situation that applies to you. So with that being said, he had came to me and asked me if I could watch the kids, and I basically told him no. And I said no because, again, it goes back to the first scenario that this individual always wants somebody to watch the kids because they don't want to have to deal with their own kids, as if, you know, they try to push their kids off into other people. So basically I told him, no, you're going to have to take your kids with you. And it's not that I had any ill will towards the kids. It was just that I could see what the mom was doing, and I basically had enough of it in the dream, if that makes sense. So with all that being said, I just want you guys, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier about your intuition, is there to lead you and guide you and to show you. So it's very important to listen. So with that being said, again, it's basically showing me that some of you guys are going to be dealing with the situation. You're going to be finding yourself. It's going to be pertaining to the kids, and it's not going to have anything, your decision making is not going to have anything at all to do with the kids. Just because you say no does not mean that you do not love those kids, okay? I want you to understand that. You saying no just simply means that because maybe, again, that you're getting a message from the higher ups that's letting you know what's taking place here. Hey, look, this person is taking advantage of the situation. This person is trying to manipulate. This person is constantly always trying to have their free time while keeping your time tied up. And I believe it's to the point that the divine spirit of light wants that to be revealed to you through this message. So and then it kind of skipped the scene. We're not done with the story yet, so the message is not done yet. So the gentleman, here's what I got from that also. So the gentleman who was also, okay, so this is applying to the situation of if the two had split up and the gentleman was either dating someone new. I can't say how, it's not for me to say, but apparently the gentleman was dating someone new, either dating or just casually dating, however you want to call it. But I saw it in a form of the gentleman was dating or with someone new, because as if him and the other girl, the kid's mom, had separated. Okay, so after they separated, what had happened was there were some things that was transpiring throughout their relationship is what I got. And things that was transpiring in their relationship, like things that was going on that he wasn't aware of that was going on at the time of being in that relationship. So bear with me. It may sound a little confusing, but I'm trying to break it down as much as I can. So there were some things that was transpiring in their relationship that he wasn't quite aware of. And when I say that, let me give you an example. Like, there's this movie on TV called Atlantis. And yeah, and there's a king on there and there's a queen on there, and then they have a daughter. So there's a queen on there and they rule this little, parish, little country, wherever it is that they're at. But nevertheless, the queen was doing things that the king wasn't aware that the queen was doing, if that makes sense. And let me just give you a little brief, because some of you may relate to this if you've seen the movie. So what it was the queen wanted to manipulate a situation. Apparently they was about to have some Roman games, and they wanted a particular guy to lose. And she went into her little private space. Bear with me here. She went into her private space, and her private space consists of behind a wall her husband wasn't even aware of. She tiptoed off as they were having games, and she went to go try to manipulate, let's just basically say manipulate, witchcraft, you know, however you want to call it. You know, it's doing something against somebody's free will. So with that being said, I don't want to get into a whole spiel of that. I'm just trying to set the scene for you and give you an example. He wasn't even aware that even within the own castle, that she had a secret place of doing things that she was manipulating behind his back that he wasn't even aware of. And even if she was kind of doing it in front of his face, it was a little settled, just to a point enough maybe for him not to even question, well, what are you doing? So that's kind of like the little brief. But again, he had no idea that she had stuff going on within the castle, behind brick walls, secret compartments of, you know, just doing things like, again, witchcraft, and he had no idea of what was taking place. The wall was very well hidden. You wouldn't have never even known that it was a secret place within the kingdom or within the castle. So with that being said, let me go back to the dream now. So within the dream, it was as if I had gotten the message of the gentleman is no longer with that female who he had kids with. That relationship was over with. But now he was dating someone new. So the way I saw it was, apparently he was laying next to her, sleeping at night, and she was laying next to him. So apparently she woke him up because she obviously felt something within herself, and I don't mean physically, but I mean spiritually, that woke her up and caused her to say something to him. And she basically, what was the word? Give me 1 second. Okay, so basically she had woke up and she basically said something to him. She was bringing it to his attention. Like, I can't really say exactly what it was, but she obviously felt a shift within her spirit with him laying next to her, that something wasn't right. So she basically nudged him and was kind of letting him know, like, letting him know. Give me a second, guys. Hey guys, sorry about that. So yeah, basically she was just nudging him because obviously she knew that something had shifted within her spirit. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. I try to break it down as much as I can to the best of my ability. But let me just basically say this. So some of you may find yourself in a relationship, or possibly have already ended a relationship. I can't say how long ago. It could have been some time ago. And maybe you're going to meet somebody new. I can't say what the time frame is when you're going to meet that new person. But with that being said, it's just basically letting me know that there's something that you need to just make sure you pay attention to, because you're going to notice this is going to be a shift within your spirit, that you may that you're going to feel spiritually. I can't say if it's going to feel like a spiritual attack. I can't say if it's going to feel like, you're just going to know it, and it's going to be a spiritual thing, because you're going to be in your sleep state when you're recognizing this, and you're going to wake up and you're going to realize that it's the person next to you. And, you know, and I do believe that this situation can also apply to somebody who is still currently in a relationship with their kid's mom, that they're also noticing that there's something with the kid's mom that also puts a shift within someone else's spirit that somebody is aware of. if that makes sense. So the first scenario I gave you was that the two had split up. So now I'm also saying, because I feel like Spirit is telling me also that that can also apply to a situation of if the man and the kid's mom are still together, and the two of them are laying next to each other, no matter how long it has been that they have laid next to each other. But apparently there's going to be something that's going to be very noticeable, that in sleep state, that's going to cause somebody to wake up and feel a shift, and they're going to be aware of it. So it's not something that you can hide anymore. It's not something that, you can push off and say, oh, that was just a, dream. But obviously it's going to be something that's be noticeable. I can't say what it's going to be, but I just know that you're going to notice it. That's all I can say. So let's see. And then this is another dream also that I also had last night too. And this one was, it's weird because I feel like it ties back in, but it was the second dream, two different dreams. I woke up, wrote the first one down, and later on went back to sleep and, wrote this one down. So it seemed like it ties back into the first one. But I also dreamed that it was someone that I knew, and he basically was telling somebody that I'm tired and that I couldn't do this anymore. So I can't say how the situation is going to play out. I don't know if it's going to be a situation with a friend, your family member, someone that's close to you, a romantic partner, or possibly just somebody that you have just recently met, probably within the last 6 months maybe. But basically I see that some of you are gonna, and take it how it resonates. It may not apply to all, but it may apply to some. Some of you are gonna be tired and fed up and feel like that you can't take it anymore, and you're gonna tell yourself that you tried to do it for 9 months and nothing is improving. So I think that it was like, I think that I'm gonna leave is what I heard. Someone saying that they think that they're gonna leave. So that was another dream, but it seemed like it's kind of tied back into that first dream, with just having enough and trying things out. So again, everybody's situation is going to be different. Take it how it applies. Yeah. I feel like we're all kind of going through the same situation, but everybody is, every scenario, every situation, same situation, everybody's experiencing different scenarios is what I'm trying to say. Excuse me. So, let me also talk about this dream that I had too the night before, or not the night before, but I had this dream on the 28th of February. So this one was very interesting. Okay, so what this one was okay, let me explain it to you. So I walked into the store, and it came to the form of my mom. I hear my mom saying something about like, did I pray for you? So first of all, keep that in mind. Be mindful of who you having to pray for you, okay? Because everybody's prayer is not sincere. People could be praying for you, and they could be praying negative things over you. When and the reason why I say that, because as the Bible says, you can Google it for yourself. I don't know the scripture, but I'm just giving you the somewhat of what it said. It said, there's life and death in the power of the tongue, meaning that you can speak positivity over someone, or you can speak negativity over someone. And just understand that when you speak positive over people, God sees that. But just also understand too, when you speak negative over someone, he also sees that shit too. Excuse my French, but I say all that to say that, and I'm gonna just say that karma's a bitch, okay? Karma knows your address. That's all I'm going to say. We have to be mindful of the things that we say and the intentions that we set when we're projecting certain things towards other people. These are things that I had to learn along the way. God had actually taken me through a little training, and he was allowing me to see what's the difference between he had taken me through a little training that allowed me to, it was almost like a little initiation in a sense, to allow me to be able to see, okay, well, if you say these things will happen. But are you saying these things for the good of yourself as well as for other people? So I had to learn that. So be mindful of that too. Because really, when you speak certain things over other people, it's like a reflection. It's like God will send that energy right back to you. So please be mindful. And I'm just saying that from a place of not telling you guys what to do, but it's just, just allowing you to be mindful of the things that you say, as well as the things that you do, and your intention behind the things that you do. Everything is intention, and that's something you have to keep in mind too. So, okay. Again, so my mom had said, she wasn't next to me, but she was like walking into it looked like a store, and I was kind of like trailing behind her, but she was far up. She's like, so, did I pray for you? And I thought to myself, and I was like, I don't know. I kind of thought to myself, I don't need you to pray for me. I don't need you to pray for me is what I thought. Or I'm good. I pray for myself or something like that. But anyway, so we had gotten to the store, and it was as if I was checking out in the line. And I felt like it was my mom that was next to me. I'm not sure, but I felt like there was another energy that was next to me. I can't really decipher. That's not important who it was, but I just know somebody was next to me. So imagine yourself standing at the grocery store, and you're in line, and just imagine like you're doing the whole social distancing thing. The person in front of you is ringing their stuff up. So, okay. Here's where it goes. So the cashier was ringing up the stuff. This lady in front of me had a whole, let me explain to you. Let me set the scene for you, okay? This lady in front of me, she looked like she was well put together. It looked like everything was perfect and in order. All T's were crossed, all I's were dotted, and everything was perfect and in order. So pay attention. So I'm standing there looking at her line. I was like, her hair is done. It is all neat and in place, and so on and so on, looking at the way she was carrying herself. But I noticed she had a bunch of gift cards in her hand. She had a bunch of gift cards in her hand. When I said a bunch of gift cards, I mean, it was almost like this, like a bunch of gift cards. But, of course, the gift cards is going to cause it to be a little less than this. But she had a bunch of them in her hand like this, and she kind of handed them to the cashier in a sense, but some of them fell out of her hand as she was giving it to her. She grabbed some of them, but some fell out of her hand onto the little conveyor belt. And then the cashier was just ringing them up. Let's just say, and she didn't say anything about, well, I want $20 on that one, or I want $50 on that, because some gift cards say $50 to $500. So she didn't have those type of gift cards. She just had gift cards that was specifically to a certain number, because the cashier was just ringing them up. So as she was ringing them up, I kind of got a feeling she wasn't saying anything, she wasn't doing anything, but I just kind of felt within my spirit like something was going on with her, that like a little bit of nervousness, unsettledness, unease with her. And then the cashier kind of started looking like she was becoming a little suspicious of her as well too. So, and then she also had one other item in her hand too that she was about to pay for, or about to get, or whatever. So the cashier had kind of put the gift cards into a bag. She bagged it up and put it in the bag. And then the first thing I thought to myself was, she looked like she's about to run. So, and then it's like the cashier, I think she got a feeling, because what I saw in the dream was this lady wasn't saying anything. She just gave the cashier the cards. But I realized that the cashier started picking up, and she started listening to her intuition, and me standing in line was also listening to my intuition without the lady saying anything. So it's like both of us, the cashier as well as myself, was picking up on that other lady's energy, and we kind of got a feel of what she was about to do. So once the lady put the gift cards in the bag, She kind of passed her the bag, but she didn't pay for the gift cards yet. You know how sometimes they give you the bag and they give you your total, or set the bag up there on the counter and give you your total. And she did just that. And the next thing you know, the girl looked like she was about to run, but she didn't run. She was like kind of walking away. But the cashier stepped from behind the counter and kind of grabbed her in a sense. It wasn't aggressive. It wasn't aggressive, or it wasn't like, oh, you know, get over here. You know, she was just basically kind of holding her, telling her, you know, well, basically telling her that she was going to hold her there. And then she kind of looked at me, or the person who was in line, and basically said to them, let me know if you see a store employee in the store. And the first thing I thought to myself, I didn't see another store employee when I walked in here from the get-go. So I was like, I'm not getting involved with that. Because I felt like on two hands, like the cashier was having to be the cashier. She was having to be the security guard. She was having to be catching people who was stealing, all in the process. And it's like, that wasn't even her job. They pay her to cashier, not to do all that other stuff. That's what I kind of got from the dream. Not kind of, that's what I got from the dream. So I was like, basically saying, I'm not getting involved with that. You know, that's like, that's not my karma. I'm not getting involved with that. It ain't my job to go find somebody, because the truth of the matter is, whoever store that was, that's their job to make sure that that cashier is good, and make sure that she stands behind the cashier, do what she needs to do, and that they need to hire store security, because that's not her place to be coming from behind the cashier trying to catch robbers, thieves, or whatever the case may be. So that was one situation that I got from that dream. The other situation I got from that dream, you guys are going to be dealing with somebody that you're least expecting. They're going to look like they well put together, all T's are crossed, all I's are dotted, and you're going to think that they got it all together. But little do you know, as I just described to you in the dream, that you're going to find out that they're doing some things that you wasn't even expecting them to be doing. You know, like in this dream, it appeared as if they were stealing. But for you guys, remember, this is how it comes to me in a dream so that I'm able to tell the story. But sometimes you guys may be dealing with that situation from someone else, but the scenario, again, is going to be a little different. So yes, it's going to be an individual that you're going to be least expecting something, least expecting them to be doing. I can't tell you how it's going to come, what shape or form it's going to come in, but everybody's situation is going to be different. So I just basically wanted to warn you of that. Everything that glitters is not gold. So for all you guys out there who thinks the bling bling life, you know, the stars, the rappers, and again, this is no judgment on anybody, you know, sometimes people can look like they got it all, but you're going to realize that people who look like they got it all, behind closed doors, there's a whole nother story. A whole nother story. So again, take that how it applies.